What's up, guys, and welcome back or welcome to my channel. I am Jadine. So today we are just going to be talking about something that's been going on in my life recently. So really it's the main thing that we're talking about is from the title, as you can tell, is a law of attraction. A lot of people have introduced me to this and spoken about it and all that good stuff, but I didn't really believe it until recently. So we're just gonna talk about my experience with that. Yay! So let's get into it. As some of you may know or who don't know, the law of attraction is basically stating that the law of attraction is basically stating that your positive thoughts and what you put out into the world is reciprocated back to you. So if you're thinking positively, positive things will happen, and if you're thinking negatively, negative things will happen. It's basically the gist of it. If you've ever seen the movie The Secret, if you haven't, I definitely recommend it 110%. It goes in more in depth about what it is and how to apply that to your life to get what you want to happen. They even talking about the law of vibration with that as well. If you like science, you can break it down into that as well, because it gives you more of a scientific background, stating that everything is vibrating, everything is moving. When you talk about atoms, they're always moving, they're never not in motion, they're in constant motion. So that's why they talk about the law of vibration with the law of attraction tethered, because when you, let's say, you meet somebody new and you're like, oh my god, that's totally a vibe. You guys are literally vibrating at that same level. And there's different vibrations. There's obviously the positive ones where you feel love and happiness and joy. And then obviously the more negative ones, where the ones that are lower down below are the sadness, depression, and all that stuff. So that's how you're going to tell the difference between where you're vibing with somebody and if you vibe with them or not. And you're like, well, I'm vibing here, this person's vibing here, that's why you guys aren't meeting eye to eye, versus when you guys are both vibing on the same level and you guys do, if that makes sense. So that's basically what it is. You're just putting out and radiating positive vibes all the time, and positive things will happen. Where if you have negative things will happen. For example, when you stub your toe or something, and you're like, gosh darn it, what the heck, and you're in pain, you are literally putting out that vibration of a negative thing, or a negative vibration basically. And then if you continuously have negative things happen, it's because you're thinking, oh my gosh, this happened to me, it's going to continuously happen, I'm having a bad day, blah 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 blah. That's basically how it happens, how it works. So yeah, from my experience, I had actually watched The Secret about 2 years ago. It didn't really hit home for me until I rewatched it in the past month, and I really started to apply that to my life. I've gotten more into meditating and focusing on myself and my aspirations, my goals, my dreams, everything that I want to accomplish in life. So that's why it really hit home for me, because it was all right, let's apply this, let's see if it works. And it is very, very attainable. I've seen a lot of YouTubers out there actually talk about this more in depth. So I actually do watch one individual, it's Lisa Alexandra. She does a lot of attraction videos and helps you focus on what you're meditating. When you meditate and visualize in depth of what you want, and that definitely helps as well. And a lot of things are able to manifest within 24 hours or less. Literally, that was the first thing I did, and it was just to manifest something small, something attainable that I didn't think that would possibly happen. No freaking way it's gonna happen, but it did. And that was me just manifesting a text message from somebody and thinking okay, how did that message make me feel? What am I expecting it to say? When I see it, what am I reading? And going into depth with that. So that was one thing that definitely came out of nowhere, and I was like, no freaking way this works. No way. Right? So then I kept doing it, and things kept happening. Oh, I just spoke out of turn. Things kept happening. So when I say this stuff works, it actually literally does work. It's not, a lot of it's not going to happen over time. So if you're going to like manifest, let's say, finding the love of your life, or a crazy amount of money to come to your possession, it's not going to happen overnight or instantaneously. It's going to take time, and it's actually something that's hard to do. It's not super easy if you're trying to maintain consistency, if that makes sense. Because consistency is key to getting what you want. You can't just manifest one time and be like, oh, okay, never think about it again. Like, it's not going to do anything. You have to actually think about that stuff and like radiate that and put that out into the world to get what you want, if you're understanding what I'm putting down. So basically that's what I did, and not only did I get a text message, I manifested another part of my business. I was given that opportunity, and then basically was like, yeah, I'm going to make this amount of money, or I'm going to do this by the end of the year, or get one person to come in and buy something from me. Like, that's what I was thinking, where I was going with my manifestation. And then that happened. I was able to get a customer to come in and purchase something, So, like, it is very attainable, but does it take time? Of course. Everything takes time. If you're consistent with it, it's going to happen, And when you visualize, you can't just visualize it as, like, okay, well, I'm seeing this sunset and me and the love of my life are all curled up on the beach, blah, 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 blah. You can't just see that. You gotta feel the emotions. You're feeling the individual skin, what you're wearing, what they're wearing, trying to engage all your senses into that visualization. And sometimes that can be really hard for individuals to, like, daydream or to pull that image into their head and really believe that they've already attained that in their life. So that's where I think that that's like the harder part, is to see that image constantly and to focus on that. And one thing to help with that, I recommend vision boards for sure. Literally, my lock screen right now kind of is like what I am aspiring to be like. The aesthetic is kind of like neutral, and then like there's other things that's embedded in that picture that I want to like attain or like be a part of, like I think, let me see let me look at it and show you guys. You see it looks like that, right? So you get like the whole Chanel and beach vibes type of thing, and I just think that that's definitely what I'm trying to go for right now. Just a clean cut, more like mellow type of vibe, and like chill out, because I'm a very high paced person who like is like, let's go, I'm just trying to like turn it back, relax, understand, work on my patience, and that's what has been working really well for me, and I also do journal along with that as well, which is another thing. If you're not like into the whole visualization, which is closing your eyes and meditating like that, visualizing while writing down also is a good thing too. That's what I also started off with. It was just easier because I can't sit still, right? I can't stay in one position and just meditate and just listen to the waves crashing or some like high frequency sound. It didn't really work for me like that. So I started off writing in a journal and just writing about, let's say one of the prompts is something that I just randomly came up with. What's a perfect day look like to you? Or what does the person that you're trying to manifest look like? As for money, what do you want to achieve by whatever time or within your lifetime? And then really seeing yourself as you already have that, like you are grateful for what you already have got or have attained. And when you see yourself that way, things happen all the time. You know, if you're starting to see yourself as, oh yeah, I am that businessman or woman and I have, you know, 6-figure multimillionaire fortune, or billionaire business, like that is going to happen. And you just constantly tell yourself it's already happened, I've already attained it, and literally it happens. And you can totally believe me or totally not believe me, but do it for yourself, and literally it will change your whole mindset. Literally, if you just do it for 5 minutes and you visualize what you want or what you see in a text message, like I said, I started with just a text message just to see if it freaking worked, and it did. So what I'm telling you is not some Barnyard Express stuff that's like not real. It's legit. It's gonna work out. It's gonna happen. So that's what I'm going to tell you to do. And if you're having trouble with, like I said, visualizing and sitting still and just like focusing, you would recommend, again, journaling or going into a different type of state of mind and doing yoga. I did start doing yoga as well, or take yoga back up, and that helps definitely center, because you're focused on doing the moves, but at the same time you're kind of like relaxed and able to, you know, go into your heart center and really focus on what is going on. And if you, like I said, wanted to watch another YouTube video that helps you like manifest what's going on and just like focus on the information, now Lisa Alexandra, that's what I was trying to say, lost my train of thought, does that, and she'll help you focus on what you're trying to visualize and see. So she goes into like a little like meditation moment for you, and she'll tell you other examples of what has happened to other people that come onto her channel, and they come back and they write a comment or whatever. That's something that would be really cool for me to do as well too, but haven't done that yet on this channel. So I just, again, wanted to talk about it and my experience with it, and it definitely works, and I've been using it for the past month in multiple things that I have visualized and manifested and written down, as like my manifestation has actually really worked and is actually achievable. And when you listen to her, she goes into talking about your heart center and how that's like 10 times more powerful than your mind. So I don't know if I believe that portion too much, but I mean, if I used it, it definitely worked. But I also think that it's like tethered together, you know, your mind and your heart working 10 and 10 is gonna get you to what you want, because you know, one can't work without the other. Exactly. But yeah, so if you like the law of attraction, like the idea of it, I will definitely do another video. This one's just short, sweet, and simple, just me talking about what it is and how I've used it in my life thus far. I will do another video. I can do exactly what I go through in the evening, because I always do it at night, like when I'm going to bed, because I don't know, I just feel like when I fall asleep to that, it helps me dream about it, even though I don't remember my dreams, but deep down inside, that subconscious level will do the work for me at the same time. But I can definitely do that video of what I do in the evening, from the yoga portion to me journaling and then me visualizing as well. Whatever you guys want or want to see, I will definitely do. Like I said, if you like it, I would definitely check out her channel as well, just so you guys can get maybe another perspective or an understanding of more of what the law of attraction, law of assumption is. But other than that, go ahead and click like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below if you use this and you do it for 5 minutes, let's say, and something happens, like you manifest a text message, or you come into an abundance of money, or somebody that you haven't talked to in like a few years or even a few months comes back and like messages you because you were thinking about them and manifested them to come back into your life. Please leave me a comment. I want to see if it definitely works for you, because it worked for me, and I would love to explain more about other things that have happened thus far while using the law of attraction. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, don't forget the business is always in the bottom if you want to check it out and see what we're working with, new things coming out left and right. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Alright, peace.